I'll be praying for it. Divine intervention or anything else that gets my attention. And I'm falling for you. You're a fine invention, a sort of poison to me, but I keep forgetting. And I'm halfway in and I'm half alive. You take my face and you hold it up to the light. Think you was born, take me home. If not you, not you, then I